All right, fellas, I'm here in Chicago, and I couldn't come to Chicago without talking to Minister Jap.
Church check in, man.
Man, it's my first time meeting up with you.
We've been knowing each other for years, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we first started, man. I'm glad to see how you blew up, man. Congratulations to you and all that.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. But I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all don't know some of the stories. So, I remember years ago when everybody was talking about my wife and being in my personal business, right? Like I advertised myself being single. And, I guess they try to so-called expose me, right? I don't know what they try to expose.
Yeah,
and Jap was one of the ones that came out and stood up and said, hey, man, y'all stupid, all that. So
yeah, we did a show about it. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's actually on my Patreon right now, but I'm gonna probably bring that out for the people once this come out. But yeah, we did a show about it. You explained everything, and I don't know, man. Some people just take things too serious, you know what I'm saying? They get all your personal business, especially with this YouTube thing, man.
Yeah.
The doxing thing just got out of hand.
Well, this is my thing about that, man. It's like me and my wife been married, be 12 years this year.
And most of the people talking ain't even close to married, especially the women that's talking crazy, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even gonna.
They not. I mean, it's that people gonna talk. I learned that.
Yeah.
And if you don't like me, kick rocks. I'm good. I want to focus on people that do like me. Right, but it's not about me today. It's about you. So Jeff, for people that don't know, because on the Phillip show, they haven't seen. No, they're not seeing you here. Tell people a little bit about yourself. How you got started.
All right, man. First and foremost, thank you for bringing me on here. You know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure. Minister Jap, Chicago's on. I'm sort of like a comedian, men's rights activist, all around entertainer. I use my entertainment to bring about a message. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. For the free-thinking straight black man. That's how I pretty much sum it up. That's who I give my message to, especially the youngest. Because a lot of the older guys, they kind of hard and stuck in their ways and they don't want to change. But I'm starting to get a lot of more attention from the older guys. A lot of the older guys starting to see how, like, man, I was born here before. Maybe I'm older than what I think I am. Maybe I was here a lifetime ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I teach about brothers being disciplined. As far as, having discipline, I don't want to curse, but making sure, you stay on point, look forward for your future, don't have babies out of wedlock. That's my biggest pet peeve, because a lot of guys got all these dreams, but then you having babies along the way, you're not going to be able to achieve nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially the women, too. I always told women, marry before you carry, man, and again, I'm a comedian, too, so we're gonna have a good time when we talk,
Yes,
and I'm
sir.
raw, so I'm from Chicago, so it's gonna be raw, it's gonna be uncut, but at the end of the day, it's still a message that I'm bringing apart.
So the aspect of church, right?
Yeah.
So I remember when you first came out, and I'm like, Minister Jap, who is that? So you see a minister, you could look.
So let me keep it a buck with you. Like,
right.
You just had a couple of the ministers here from the Nation of Islam.
Right.
I used to be a part of the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And like everybody from my hood, they always said I was preaching. I used to do music and stuff like that. And I was always like reading and just doing stuff that everybody else wasn't doing. And when I joined the Nation, I was walking around with suits and ties and stuff like that. Everybody was like, well, like a minister. You know what I'm saying? And then like on the west side of Chicago, everybody say church. And that kind of, in a Chicago setting, everybody say church on everything. Like if it's like something you agree with, like, yeah, that's church. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just kind of put it all together. Church is a slang that, a lot of the pimps and the players and stuff like that use. So I just kind of merged it all together. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Minister Jap.
Okay, so
Jap is a word in Chicago. A lot of people think it's like I'm Japanese or something like that. No, I'm black. But Jap means to really go off. And I've always been known to go off on people. Jap was my nickname before I put the minister on there. So everybody just always call me Jap because I used to be always cursing people out. But like, here you go Japping again. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was New York, it'd be the equivalent of spazzing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Japping mean in Chicago. So when people in Chicago hear the name Jap, they already know he got to be from Chicago. When they see my name, on YouTube and stuff like that, they be like, yeah, he from Chicago. He probably from the South Side, because that's what they say, Jap.
Okay, so you just infuse Chicago culture, just into branding it into what you do.
Yeah, my name kind of embodies everything I'm about. You know what I'm saying? The minister part is when I get deep. I turn into Jap Luther King Jr. Mm-hmm. And then the Jap part is when I just spaz out for the streets and stuff like that with my comedy and music and stuff like that. Because for the most part, I could do I'm talented in pretty much everything, so music was my passion. So Jap was my stage name too at one point in time. So I just put it all together and then put it all on YouTube. merge it all together, man, and just entertain the people.
So I want to run through a few topics that you really home in on.
Yeah.
Number one, single mothers.
Yeah.
Because I got some single mothers that watch, and I get on single mothers too, especially on this channel, because for me it's like you can choose who impregnates you. Okay,
they choose their baby daddies.
Yes, they do, and it seems like they're choosing the same pool of baby daddies.
Yeah,
and then later in life, unfortunately, they want to circle around to that brother that didn't have no kids, working hard, staying out of trouble, and now you want him to take care of all your kids. And then you got Umar Johnson coming up here trying to shame them men to take care of Pookie and Ray Ray kids. But what's your take on single mothers? You rail about that.
All right, man. I've been tough on single mothers since the start. I'm gonna tell you how it all started. I was in like a 7-year relationship. I never dated single mothers. I was, coming straight out of like college, dating a girl from like age like maybe let's say 20 to 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? And I never had to experience single mothers on the dating scene. So when I got on the dating scene, I was meeting women, but all of them had kids. And then I started to see the dynamic of how raggy the whole situation was. I was like, dang, everybody got kids. No matter how good they look, in the city of Chicago, most of these chicks got kids. They don't got no, husbands. They wasn't married. They more than likely they broke. They live with their mothers, things like that. So it was just like, I would be driving to work and I would just blog about my dating experiences all the time. And then I started going viral doing that. And that's when I just started really just focusing in on everything. I started seeing like all of the ratchetness in Chicago stem from, no father being in the household. Now I was fortunate to have my father, and a lot of my friends didn't. You know what I'm saying? I got some friends that went down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? Some friends that did survive single motherhood. But for the most part, single motherhood has been pretty much destroying our community, and it destroyed the dating scene. So I just kind of talk about it on all aspects. Now, as far as the single mothers being so common, I would say it's because of the bad advice the older women have been given.
Oh, man.
Because I got aunts, and I seen it firsthand. Mm-hmm. The strategy that most black women were getting is that you too young to be married, you too young to be in no serious relationship. And what happens is they take their prime years in their 20s,
right,
where most other races of people are usually getting married, settling down. Our women are gonna party from age 20 to 36. You know what I'm saying? Something around that realm. And in between, they're gonna end up having kids, and the kids usually are the residue of failed relationships. So by the time she's ready to settle down, she's all beat up, battered, and bruised with kids, and she's got all this, this debt and this burden of another man's child. Now, another man, a man such as myself, I don't want to have to interact with the last man you dealt with. And a lot of these women don't understand that. They expect you to because, most of these other men were raised by single mothers. So it's just a different mindset. It's an alpha mindset versus a beta mindset. The alpha mindset tends to scare women because it's so many beta males out here who are willing to just be stepdaddies just to keep you in their presence. But the way I look at it is that, it's a lot of people in the world, and it's a lot of people make better decisions than single mothers. Single mothers make real irresponsible decisions. They just trying to get to Friday. I'm trying to get to the next 10 years of success. So I don't want to have to wing it. I'm a man with a plan, and a lot of these women don't have a plan, and you got to come and fix them. Now, again, interacting with baby daddies, I've been through that path too. That's crazy. Like, I had dudes dating a single mom, the dude tearing up my car because he's jealous because I got his baby moms, stuff like that. And I talk about all these things that you're gonna go through because it's a real terrible experience for the man. And our side never gets told. And YouTube just gave me the avenue and the platform to do that and tell our side. And I'm giving you real experience. That's why a lot of people gravitate towards my channel, because they know it's authentic, because they know I really did it. And I'm capable of doing it right now. Dating and just, meeting women. I'm a people person. I'm a very sociable person. So, I'm always be able to get out here and get a woman if I want one. But it's all about having discipline, utilizing your contraceptives, doing what you got to do, making sure that you don't permanently attach yourself to a temporary person.
Yes, sir. What else happened to you outside of that one incident? Because, people need to get the story of that. Give some other incidents that happened with dating a single mother.
The first time I dated a single mother, man, the first one that scared the life out of me, she took her shirt off. And this is the first time I ever, seen a woman that post-pregnancy. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't deal with the stomach, man. Like she was wearing like a body shaper. That was the first time I started telling brothers on the channel, man, watch out for these body shapers because they'll fool you. She was wearing a body shaper for like months, you know what I'm saying? But you peeled out that body shaper, it was like the Pillsbury, Pillsbury biscuits coming up out of there. That was pretty scary. But then she was also real angry all the time. You know, if a baby daddy called, they'll get to arguing, she'd take it out on me. It'll ruin the mood of the day, you know? And I'm like, man, there's a third person in my relationship, you know? So I just didn't like that. I ain't like that. I don't like the fact that they don't have time. They don't have time to date. So you gotta really be a mom, you know, and I don't wanna be a father to somebody else's kid first. You know what I mean? Like I can respect, now I do respect the widows and the divorced women. I do respect that because you went about it the right way and circumstances happen. But when I speak about single mothers, I'm talking about baby mamas, women who just recklessly had kids, you know what I'm saying, or move in with a dude with no real plan or mapped in plan. They have a baby and then they break up and then she goes back on the scene, she dropped the baby off at the grandmama house. Like, nah, those are the women I'm talking about. And that's majority of the black single mothers. It ain't the situation like, oh, what if your man died? What if this? Nah, your baby daddy in jail because you picked that type of dude to have a baby with. You know what I'm saying? You pick these type of dudes that, you know, were bums. And some of these women had babies on one night stands. Like the recklessness, the mindset of the single mother is just something that don't mesh well with me because I don't think like that.
Well, let me say something, because this is something they say to me too when I go in on single mothers.
Yeah.
I've been around a little while and I see what happens especially when boys are raised with single mothers. Yeah. Most of your boys is out here in Chicago wilding out. I guarantee you they was raised with a single mother.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, if we go to Inglewood and knock on doors, I bet you the household is ran by a woman. And Inglewood is one of the roughest places in Chicago. You got Inglewood, you got Lawndale, you got the Gardens, it's a lot of, all the places that's heavily populated with violence, drug trafficking, you know, all types of scamming and anything like that. It's always a woman that's running the household. And she produces our criminals. She produces our strippers. She produces all our ratchetness. So I feel like this, I said it on my show the other day, I don't understand why people are having sex in poverty. You should be focused on more other things, like getting yourself together. I think like sex is a luxury, and you're having too much recreational sex, and you're not even going about it in a safe manner. You're just having all this sex, and then you got these babies to show for it. Like the other day, I had a show where I did, it's a lady, she had 10 kids, and every time she keeps coming to the judge with more and more kids, and she's like, you know, utilizing the kids as a get out of jail free card, you know. And you're poor, and like it doesn't make sense if you're poor to keep having and producing more offspring. It just don't add up. So that's why I kind of shy away from even dealing with people with that type of mentality.
Yeah, to me, it's almost like a form of child abuse because you're putting a child in a impoverished situation, right? You're not caring, you know, you don't care if the child has a father or not. You just don't care. Then the response to that, and they even tell me the same thing. Well, what about the men that had the children and this and that and the third? I'm like, if they didn't violate you, not to say another word, but you made that choice, well, what do you say to that? When women say, what about the men?
Well, I tell women that you got more power. Like I tell people on my show, women have the ability to have birth control. Just listen to the words, birth control. They control birth. If you look at the birth control website, go to birthcontrol.com, they got over like 21 different flavors of birth control that they can use. Now men, what they call what we get, protection. So she controls whether the child's gonna live or die. Because if the child is in her stomach, if you want it, you know, and she don't, she can go to the clinic and do what she gotta do anyway. If you don't want it and she want it, she can keep it. She got the most power in the situation. All we get is protection, which means what she has is a weapon. That's how I look at it. If I gotta protect myself, then whatever you got is here to harm me, whether it be diseases or finances or just, you know, weaponizing the children against me because women got the most power. They control birth. That's why they get called birth control. So you got the most responsibility. You got the most options, the most choices, the most power. You got the most responsibility in the matter to me.
Well, let's get to another topic, marriage. Now, I've seen this great boycott of marriage from men, definitely with the Western world, right? Yeah. It's getting so bad that bridal shops are closing. Right in Houston, they just had a bridal shop closed. Women were looking for their dress, and they just shut it down. Al's Formal Wear is another one in Houston. that just shut down all these stores, and that's place people used to go with getting married and proms and stuff like that. So what's going on with that? Like men are finally responding and saying hell no to marriage?
I think that a lot of guys are starting to realize that our women are not bringing femininity to us. And that's why you're starting to see a lot more interracial dating, a lot more interracial marriages. Because a lot of men who are accomplished or who even on the path of accomplishing something, who have a goal, who have a purpose, they want a feminine woman. Our women are really, really masculine, you know, and I tell people I want to marry my companion, not my competitor. And we got our women pretty much trying to take our spot as far as the head of the household, the man in the room, like whether it be the employers that empower them, societies empower them, and they talk themselves out of marriage for the most part. Because you hear a lot of women, they say they just want the baby. They don't want a husband because they don't want to obey us. They want to obey their employer. So I personally, in a perfect world, yeah, I would love, you know, marriage to be what it was for my parents and my parents' parents. You know, because I come from 2-parent household. But right now it's extremely hard because we're dealing with feminism, which is our biggest enemy, not the white man, in my opinion. And we got social media, and everybody trying to pretty much put on a facade and be something that they're not online. And you posting everything and putting everybody in your business. Because if you look at Facebook, first thing Facebook says is tell me what you're thinking. It say something like, tell me what's on your mind, or something like that at the top. And a lot of our women, they vent. You get into it with your girl, in this day and time, she go right to Facebook and she put subliminals, and then all these people getting on your business and stuff like that. So social media is a big obstacle. It's an obstacle that the past generations never really had. You know, you don't even need a person's phone number. You can go reach out to your ex-girlfriend and just write in the inbox because you know her name and say, hey, big head. So that's the thing. Like I tell people, if your woman can't leave that social media alone, she ain't ready to settle down at all. So again, it goes back to the strategy with our older women, teaching the younger women that in your young years, get it all out your system, and then when they don't want to get married till late in life. Our women don't strike in their prime, and a lot of our women don't even see marriage. A lot of our women don't even, even if you look at the older women now, they don't even act like older women. We got grandmamas out here on TikTok twerking.
Yeah.
We don't have, it's just different now. So, and then they trying to remix marriage too. You know, like I have gone to weddings, people around my age, they broke up now. You know, and a lot of it is due to social media, and a lot of it is due to carrying company that's like not married. Like my parents, they hang with other married folks.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to go. You know, when my other cousin, he's older than me, he got married, I don't hang with him no more. His wife don't really let him hang out with me no more. Like, man, you going out with Jap? Nope. He don't want to hear her mouth, so he don't come out with me no more. And I get it. You know, he see me at a family barbecue or something. It's appropriate. Inappropriate and appropriate settings and actions is one of the biggest things, because we got people who think they could be wives and still act like girlfriends and still have this freedom, still go take, you know, whole trips with their homegirls, you know. And then we got dudes that do the same thing too. So I tell people, if you can't keep your word bond and keep your word and do what you say you're gonna do, don't get married. You don't have to. You really don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people do it because they think that they feel pressure and they get themselves into something that they're not ready to do. So I mean, if you're gonna go in front of your family and lie before God, lie before friends, and lie to the person you saying them vows to, you know what I'm saying? Just don't do it. If you can't do it, if you don't have the discipline, you gotta have the discipline to do it. You know, but if you don't got the discipline, don't jump in it.
Well, let me say two things. I would say, and what I teach on my platform, it is a Western problem. It's not just a black woman problem, who are, then some, not all, who do that. But what I've seen, and I've covered this, I get messages from white guys. The same thing you talking about with you talking about what some sisters are doing. Yeah. White women are on a different level.
They invented it.
I get messages from Hispanic men, Asian men, Arab men. I even covered a story where a freaking woman from Iran talking about they women and got into feminism now. So it's like that horrible culture is actually just all over the place, especially in this country. Now you want to disagree with something that I'm going to say, but I'm gonna get your opinion on this, right? You don't like let me not put nothing in your mouth. you don't like the aspect of passport bros, from what I've heard in your content.
No.
Okay, explain to me why.
I respect the people who do it in a matter that it's not perverted. Like I don't mind you traveling. Well, first of all, I'm not here to police or dictate what a person does in their personal life or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. But the sex tourism part, I think the passport bro thing is more of just a sex tourism. Yeah, we went out here for cheap prostitutes and stuff like that. And then they say, yeah, the women are more submissive, but y'all never come back with one. Y'all go every year. And then if it's about, it's cheaper out there, these women are more submissive, I'm not, you spend more money out here, but you have to spend all this money getting clothes, flying out there, get the villa, and then you go out there, you know what I'm saying, to deal with prostitutes. Mm-hmm. I'm not about dealing with women who really don't want to deal with me. I'm about attraction. If a woman ain't attracted to me, okay, that's her, that's her right. I'm not gonna pay for, affection, pay for love or whatever like that. So the prostitution aspect of it is what I don't respect. But like if you're going out of the country, you meet somebody on some fly shit, and hey, more power to you. I ain't tripping on that. But the people who keep running around here, yelling about it are the ones who like, yeah, I had barbers who used to do that shit, like go out to the DR and show me pictures of them with all these hookers and stuff like that. Like, I'm not with that perverted shit at all. None of that. So, to promote that, to my young guys, I don't like that because that's an old man sport to me. To tell a young dude, 18 years old, that he need to pay for sex or, pay a trick off to get a woman, what he gonna get in life? He'll do much better with getting his social skills up. He'll do much better with, learning how to actually talk to women, improving himself so women will actually be attracted to him, you know what I'm saying, instead of being socially awkward. Now, I do understand the frustration of men here, saying like, man, these women over there, they're nicer or whatever like that. But the aspect of paying for sex, that is something I'll never agree with, and I'll never be convinced to pay for sex. But go see the world, meet people. I mean, there's women all over the world. I'm not mad at that, but that's not what's being promoted. Because when you look at these channels, it's not a bunch of dudes getting married. It's a bunch of dudes with hookers and running around here showing you how easy the women is. I know how easy women are. Women are easy here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference? I'm not going to fly across the sea for a hooker. You know what I'm saying? If it's, like this one guy, shout out to, what's his name, Zoom to Thailand. I see he did his little thing.
Yeah, Richard Mack. Yeah, shout out to him.
He did his thing kind of fly, you know what I'm saying? And, he got a little situation going.
Yeah.
But that's not what everybody's doing. They just going out there just picking up hookers, you know what I'm saying, and then coming back bragging about it. Like, man, don't
tricking.
Don't tell them.
I'm with you on that, and I rail against it. I call them passport tricks. I rail against that because I don't like tricking. I told him, you want to trick, you can go to Vegas, you're going to do that. Yeah. Like, that's stupid. Fly way across the world to trick. But
I talk about the tricking all the time. It's illegal, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. It's illegal. They talk about it like it's no downside to it. Yeah. Like, I'm going to have a lot of stories I'm going to show people, man. Tricks getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? Tricks getting killed. I don't know if you've seen it one time. It was a trick. He had two hookers in Vegas, and they robbed him. They was walking him to his room, and they shot and killed him in his room, and then they showed the ladies walking back with all this merchandise. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, y'all doing too much. That's why I had to come out with the pervert police.
Pervert police network.
Yeah,
and I'm going to get to that. But my deal is, of course, me in my position, I believe in family building, right? Yeah. And so I always said this, if you can't, for some reason, find a woman in the United States, if you can't, then I think you should open up yourself to, women in other countries that buy it with you, because I know from traveling that this stuff that go on here, it's not about to happen in Uganda. Museveni ain't about to put up with that. You gonna get foot to butt over there, or South Africa, or Nigeria, or wherever, right? Just mentioning some countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, that single mother thing, that's not about to happen over there, because people will be like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Just traveling to these countries. So that's why I tell these brothers, look, if you can go over there, find you somebody, if you want to.
Like, I respect it. Like, I just think that the guys who started buying all the prostitutes kind of took the spotlight from the guys who actually go over there on some smooth shit and, like, meet women, you know, like, you know, go to cafes, diners, whatever like that, just meet women and, you know what I'm saying, and strike up something. But when, you know, it got popularized, like, yeah, we out here, the chicks is $40, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing the stuff on World Star, stuff like
lame
that.
Lame videos.
Yeah, then it started getting real crazy. And I think that they need to have a separation between the guys who actually go to travel and do things, you know what I'm saying, in a more mature player way, and then the guys who just guerrilla and who just want to be, you know what I'm saying, pervs when they out of the country and then come back out here and act like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to promote that ever to young dudes, because I always, and you see my show, I always talk about this is for my young cats. 18 coming out of high school, because that's critical years. If they don't know how to deal with these women gonna set them back. Dudes in the military, coming out of the military, these women will set you back. You know what I mean? So I always try to make sure that they lead with some game, some type of know-how, and seeing that we can learn from all of these guys who have taken these L's. We need to be able to learn from the guys that went through divorces, learn through the guys who got trapped with kids. You know, man, my cousin, he's been in situations where a girl pretty much lied through the whole pregnancy, knowing the baby not his. You know what I mean? But he'll never be in that position, you know what I'm saying, if he was protecting himself. So I'm always preaching stuff like that to the young guys. Never gonna tell you as a young man, you working minimum wage or whatever like that, save all your money and then go take a trip and go have a sex life. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. You know, you ain't gonna be able to pass down, you know, all the vagina you got in your life down to your kids, man. You need to be sitting out here trying to build, because most of the guys that's being destroyed right now, who had wealth, who've accumulated in life, they take the biggest L from a woman. So I always try to prepare guys for that. Like my first message when I first came out, I always said, how you deal with women is going to determine how long you're going to be successful in life. It's not going to determine whether or not you're going to be successful in life, because your know-how, your hard work is going to determine whether you're going to be successful in life. But how you deal with women is going to determine how long you can maintain it. So the way that these guys are going reckless like that, it's no good for the youth. And I'm going to stand on that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like one brother that popped in my mind is Andre and Andrea, their channel out in Colombia. You know, he got married. You know, he moved out there to Colombia. You got certain brothers that are getting married.
Yeah, like my man Dennis Sperling, man. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, moving smooth, man. Like, but not going out there.
Yeah, not tricking. Because I don't support tricking. The tricking gonna kill you. Like you said, you can get robbed, you can get whatever happened to you.
Yeah, and like I wouldn't want to be with a woman who just been with like 10 people in the same day.
Exactly.
Like, that's disgusting to me. Like, see, that's where I started. That's why I always throw out that word pervert, bringing back them old 80s words. You know what I'm saying?
And you started the Pervert Police Network? Yeah. Tell people more about that.
All right, so this is a different direction I'm going in, because I've been for 10 years, I've been doing my comedy, been dealing with relationships, and pretty much we got that sold in lockdown. You already know me for that. You Google single mothers, my face will probably come up. But I wanted to take, and actually, this is actually motivated by a lot of the guys who used to hate on me with my criticism about the Passport Bros. Because they used to say, oh, you de-policing. I just took it and started thinking about it. I'm not telling you what to do. So here you go, like this. When I tell young dudes to wear condoms, am I de-policing?
No.
When I tell young dudes, you know what I'm saying, you know, not to be stepdaddies, don't mess with her, she got too many kids, am I de-policing? When I tell you this chick is ratchet, you know what I'm saying, she look like a man, bro, you don't, am I de-policing? I'm only de-policing to this group of people when I tell you to don't buy it. So it was a big uproar. Everybody was against me and stuff like that. So I'm like, whatever, man. I laugh it off because I know where I am. I know my capabilities. I know I never go that path. Nobody I roll with roll like that.
Right.
But I decided to take that negative energy and turn it into something that's positive that I can. And I ain't going at no YouTubers or nothing like that, because we done did that for years. That's low level stuff.
That's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I tell anybody, don't argue with no content creators. I even tell people all the time about that. Most content creators are divas, especially about their content. Yeah. So even if you try to roast them, they just
I ain't got to worry about me.
No. I'm just saying in general. Like anybody who's watching this, do your platform. Don't sit up there and worry about no content creators. But Jap, tell people how they can get in contact, you know, with your channels, email. Let them know what you got going on.
All right, man. So you go to ministerjap.com, you know, for all my merchandise. But you can go to my new channel, the Pervert Police Network, Minister Jap Network. That's why I do my daily shows. Follow me on all social media. Minister Jap Church on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram. Twitter, at the Minister Jap. Man, I'm everywhere, man. Like, you know, so I mean, if you click on any of my links, you're gonna get to another one of my channels. But for the most part, the Pervert Police Network. That's the new channel. That's my new project. I really need y'all support on that one. It's a new lane for me. So much love, y'all.